All right, so we're gonna start off in the power shed here. This is one system, but those are 24 volt inverters, and running off of these batteries. But we're gonna be switching over and removing these 16 smaller and switching around with the upper rack to have more capacity for the second system, which is a 48 volt battery bank. So we're adding 3 more charge controllers to the 3 that were already there. So this is the original array. There's 22 panels there. And then there's also some on top of the power shed. So we basically are duplicating that array over here, but with larger panels, larger wattage panels. So these are 4x4 posts. They get put in the ground every 4 feet or so. Some a little bit further apart, but that's just because we're doing it on top of this berm area, so we had to make it fit. Anyway, dig the hole, 4 foot in the ground, 3 bags of concrete, leave the posts taller than what you need, and then do the same thing for the back. So these were 8 footers. The ones in the back were 12 footers. This bottom one here is about roughly 24 inches. That top part over there is roughly about 7. And then we have 3 rungs right here. So there'll be the panels attached to that. And they're using bolts. Shorter than my 4 foot. Then we've already, over there in the corner, put in, just like we did here, and the combiner box. So anyway, once you figure out where you're going to put your what we had actually originally did, we've already removed them. You can see them on the ground, but we attached 2x4s along the bottom level, and then we did the same thing on the top, then placed the 2x6 right on top. Boom. And then we make sure that we run a string from this side all the way to the other side and on the top again to make sure that that's as level as possible. So that's why over here you see, nothing's perfect in the world, but we're just behind the 4x4 posts. But then as you travel down, these 4x4 posts, the last 3, kind of kicked out a little bit. So we actually, and this one, we had a shorter piece, so it just ended up being shorter. But use a 5-inch lag to hold it in place on the top and the bottom. That thing will never go anywhere. I guess you could also do a bolt all the way through and put a, like a carriage bolt type thing. We spliced together the 2x4s wherever we need to. The last upper 2 ones had quite a number of splices, but that's perfectly fine. And this can easily be added onto at any location. Obviously we can't really go that way. That's the retention pond. This is the 5 horsepower well pump, water pump. Takes water out of this 6-acre retention pond. And there's vegetation all the way around. This retention pond up here goes out past the house and ends right about in here somewhere. So anyway, that's it. All right, Samba, talk to you later.